Hey guys, Plastic Paladin here, back with my second review. I've been waiting to do this one for a minute because I wanted to make it kind of a part 2 to my first video, since I started this with the Dick Grayson Batman. So here I have the McFarlane Toys DC Direct Page Punchers Damian Wayne Robin. And here he is. He looks really good. I'm really loving this figure so far. Overall, I think this is a really good figure. I have maybe one or two little gripes about it, but overall I think it's a perfect complement to the Dick Grayson Batman and just a great Damian Wayne Robin in general. As far as accessories go, you can see he comes with this sword, which is a reuse of the swords that have come with other Damian. And he also comes with this broken Professor Pig mask, which I actually think is really cool. It's not so much of an accessory as it is a prop, but it's really interesting. Kind of cool to have, you know, just for your general Batman display. So let's look at the articulation just a little bit, and this is one thing I really like about this figure. It gets a lot of head tilt upwards and side to side. Now, what I was talking about with one of my gripes is even though it has this really cool kind of faux leather chest piece, it removes all of the ab crunch, so he really cannot flex that much. This guy's gonna struggle to do a sit-up for sure, but it looks really nice. I will say it looks really nice not having a seam line cut out for the ab crunch there. Is it worth sacrificing the actual flexibility of the figure? That's up to you. I'm not so sure, especially for a very acrobatic character like this. I feel like I would like to have him get in a lot more poses, but overall that's not a huge negative for me. I like pretty much everything else about this figure. The joints are a little stiff, I will say. I don't know if that's just my figure or if that's all of them, but it seems like the thinner the figures get, the stiffer the joints are. Let's see, we got the arms can go pretty far back. Like I said, joints are pretty stiff, but they're kind of bendy, and you do have a butterfly joint, so they can go pretty far back. I don't know if you can hear that, how stiff those shoulder joints are, but yeah, they're a little bit of a pain to move. Cape, I think, is really good. I like the material. I like that it has a wire on the bottom here, so you can really get into whatever pose you want. My only other gripe about the figure is that I wish it was a little bit longer. You can see in the comic it kind of reaches pretty much down past his knees, just past his knees. And on the figure here, it barely reaches above the knee. It's just, it looks a little short. Another notable addition to this figure is the cloth hood. So he actually gets a removable hood, and it also has a wire in the front, so you can shape it and make it look very nice. The back of it is a little long. I kind of wish I could reshape that a little bit, but you know, it's serviceable. It looks good enough. I really like that they went with that option instead of doing a sculpted hood. It's just, it makes it like the quintessential Robin figure, because you can have him hooded or unhooded very easily. Alright, enough yapping from me, let's get him in some poses. It's worth noting that if you have a very flimsy and poorly made DC flight stand like I do, this figure is one of the few that's probably light enough that it can actually hold it up. Another thing worth noting is that if you're going to try to do any kind of crouching poses with this figure, as if he's like sneaking around or something, you're gonna have a hard time. Not only because the leg articulation doesn't really account for that on McFarlane figures anyways, but especially on this one because of this rubberized chest piece. This tunic part is going to really get in the way unless you rotate the whole thing and put the thigh through the opening in the tunic. That's really the only way you can get the legs up. And he, like I said, has no ab crunch, so you can't compensate that way either. Just something worth noting. He gets into a running pose quite well. It's such a light figure that the little disc stand has no problem keeping him up. So here he is next to the previous release of Damian Wayne. You can see he's slightly shorter, slightly smaller head. The head on this one, very comic booky, very cartoonish. And I kind of love that. I wish more of the head sculpts would look like that. But anywho, I think these figures look pretty great together. It does look like a slightly older evolution of Damian compared to the Page Punchers one, so I think there's some good continuity there. Here he is again next to his partner in crime fighting, the Dick Grayson Batman. These figures look so good together. The cloth capes, the scale, the proportions, everything looks so perfect. The resemblance to the Frank Wiley art. These are two of my favorite figures, without a doubt. And just for fun, in comparison, here he is next to his dad. That Bruce is a big, big boy compared to this Damian Wayne. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Frankly, this is one of my favorite figures that I own now. It's a nearly perfect Robin. I have very minor issues with it, but they're nothing that is even hardly worth mentioning compared to how much I have been enjoying this. Also, shout out to the dude at GameStop who told me when this and the Huntress figure was coming in. As you can see, I did get that as well. There will be a video of her coming soon, a little preview of that. Yeah, huge shout out to that guy who basically cracked open the case for me and got these. So yeah, that's about it. thank you guys for watching. I'll be back very soon with another review for that Huntress figure. And until next time, I'm the Plastic Paladin.